Really marginal, insignificant losses in today's market. But again, all eyes on the central bank, and the consensus view is they'll decide to keep rates unchanged at 18% because although inflation is easing, it's just not a big enough drop.
Thank you, Lerato. Yes, we do expect the central bank to hold the CBR and the CRR rate at the level they are at the moment, because we don't, inflation has declined but not as much, and we want to see how the CRR, especially how it will affect the liquidity or the central bank market in over the next few months. So we'll see interest rates basically declining in the second half of the year.
I mean, obviously the bond markets, because of inflation and interest rates, have been central focus for a lot of people. But it's time for us to take a look at how companies may have recovered in terms of results that are going to be released for the full year of 2011. Good performance on the part of Safaricom. It's to be expected. It's the largest company with the largest market cap on the market. But the banks continue to be very, very competitive.
Yes, we expected a lot of activity on Safaricom and the banking sector. As you know, the banks are supposed to release their results sometime in February. We expect with the start of Barclays Bank in February 16th. That's why we see a lot of activity in the banking sector. Investors are profit taking. And you can see a lot of, even if you look at the investor activity, they are very heavy on the banking stocks and Safaricom, because they want to be part of, to receive that dividend, because banking stocks pay a high dividend rate compared to other companies.
All right, so the banks represent a good news story, but they're also the sector most susceptible to high inflation, high interest rates, a lot of provisioning losses. They're also exposed to the corporate bond side of the market because they're the major buyers as institutional investors, and with lower yields. So what are you expecting by way of results?
Okay, with regard to the banking sector, we do expect they'll perform better than the economic, because 9 months up to September 2011, banking sector had already made a profitability of 80 billion. That was higher than what they had made in the previous year. So we do have a high expectations for the banking sector results, which are about to come out.
Another good news story is Uchumi Supermarkets. We know that they're a company that was delisted, then they came back to markets, they had serious debts that they had to deal with. But right now they're talking about earnings at 204 million shillings. The expansion program is doing really well. What do you make of Uchumi, and what lessons can other companies learn from this one?
Uchumi Supermarket, it's all down to Dr. Jonathan Siano and his team. The management has been brilliant. They have taken the challenge with a good stride, and we can see the results of hard work and discipline employed by Dr. Jonathan Siano and his team. It all boils down to management and the strategy that they employ, and Uchumi has done really well. It has exceeded my expectations.
So it's a buy for you?
Sorry?
It's a buy for you, Uchumi?
Yes, it is. It is. Uchumi, yeah, it is a buy for me.
All right. Companies coming onto market, possibly. CIC Insurance has made an application to the regulator. Is this the time to be coming to market? Is there appetite? And what would they be offering prospective investors?
With CIC, they are coming into the market. They are listing through introduction. Basically, that means they are coming into the market not to raise capital, which is the correct strategy to take. It is not advisable to get into the market at the moment via an IPO. That's why they decided to go to list through introduction. Talks around town is that the price that they're going to introduce the stock at is around 8 shillings 50 cents. But we'll see when the CMA, when they pass through the regulatory policies.